Hello, friends, and welcome back to Stories About Entitled People. We start today's video with a story about a first-time retail worker who, just moments after opening the store, was confronted by an irate customer accusing them of pocketing a second bill that must have been stuck together. But before we begin, best way to support our channel is to leave comments, like, and subscribe with the turned-on bell so you don't miss the new video every single day. Here we go. I've got accused of stealing money from a customer. I've been working at a corner store for about a month now. It's my first real job. Before this, I just did commissions for friends, a little digital art here and there, and babysitting for family. But now I'm in retail, the world of cash registers, early mornings, and unpredictable customers. And let me tell you, nothing could have prepared me for what happened that one morning. It started like any other shift. My coworker and I arrived around 5:45 a.m. to open the store and start prepping before the doors officially opened at 6. We barely had time to punch in and turn on the lights before a woman practically burst through the front door. She didn't stroll in, she didn't walk in, she stormed in like she was on a mission, and I'm pretty sure she'd been waiting out front for at least 15 minutes before we even unlocked the place. She locked eyes with me and immediately pointed. "You!" she barked, loud, accusatory, the kind of tone that makes your spine straighten before your brain catches up. "Do you remember me?" she demanded. I blinked, completely caught off guard. It was 6 a.m. I was still half asleep and mentally going over the steps for making coffee. No, I replied, uncertain. I work the register on most of my shifts, and we easily get over 500 customers a day. I didn't even recognize her face. "Well, you should," she snapped. "I came in yesterday to buy cigarettes, and I paid with a 200 PLN bill." Now, for context, 200 PLN is not chump change. That's roughly the equivalent of 7 hours of minimum wage work. So yeah, not something people take lightly. Still, nothing was ringing a bell. I nodded slowly. Okay, hoping she'd continue and clarify. She did. "I gave you 2 bills by mistake. They were stuck together, and you only gave me change for 1. You stole from me, and I want my 200 PLN back." At this point, I just froze. Like, what was I even supposed to say? I hadn't seen any double bill. I hadn't pocketed anything. My coworker, sensing my deer-in-headlights panic, quickly stepped in. She told the woman that we couldn't just hand over money without any verification and that she should come back around 9 a.m. when our boss would be in. That way, the boss could check the till records and security footage. But the woman wasn't having it. She insisted she couldn't come back, that she'd have to take time off work to do so, and that she needed her money now. When we didn't cave, she huffed and stormed out just as dramatically as she came in. Sure enough, 9 a.m. rolls around, and who's waiting right at the register? Yup, her. She just stood there, arms folded, glaring at me like I'd personally run over her cat. I politely told her that the boss hadn't arrived yet, and she just said, "I'll wait." She then proceeded to stand directly in front of the till, staring me down and blocking the path for actual customers. Finally, my boss arrived and took her to the back office to get to the bottom of it. First, my boss showed her the end-of-day report from my previous shift. No extra money in the till, no suspicious overages. Then she pulled the security footage. It clearly showed the woman handing me one 200 PLN bill. No second bill stuck behind it, no sleight of hand, no confusion. Still, the woman refused to let it go. "She stole it. She had to have. I know I gave 2, she insisted. My boss showed her the footage again. You could see me handling the bill, one single note, and putting it in the register. I didn't pocket anything. I didn't fumble. There was no mistake. "Look, ma'am," my boss said, "if you're still not satisfied, you're welcome to call the police and file a report." That seemed to finally break through her fog of denial, because after a few more jabs about how dishonest I was and how the money I stole wasn't worth my soul or something equally dramatic, she turned on her heel and left. She never came back, never called the police either. But the damage was done. 4 days afterward, every time someone walked through the door who vaguely resembled her, my stomach would clench. I'd scan their face and make sure it wasn't her returning for round 2. My boss reassured me I'd handled it well, that I did nothing wrong, and the evidence was solidly in my corner. But still, it messed with me a little. On the bright side, I'm beyond thankful the store has security cameras and a boss who didn't just throw me under the bus. And I'm especially grateful I didn't somehow miss a second bill, because if I had, this story could have had a very different ending. So yeah, first real job, lesson learned. Sometimes, even when you do everything right, people will still try to blame you. But if you stay honest and keep your cool, the truth wins out in the end. At least your boss supported you. Some bosses will believe the customer and punish the employee. If she causes problems again, ask your boss to ban her from the store. She can shop elsewhere and not disturb the staff and good customers at your store. And our second story. Karen assaults me for not looking disabled, gets cuffed before she finishes her tantrum. So this morning, way too early for functioning humans, I made my weekly pilgrimage to the sacred land of Walmart. The plan? Knock out the groceries and grab the last few gifts for the grandkids. Now for context, I'm disabled, walk with a cane and a brace. And yes, I've got the official blue placard hanging from my mirror. Also, I'm fat. That's going to come up in a second. I pull into the closest handicap spot, fair and square, and manage to unfold myself out of the car without doing a full faceplant, which, let's be honest, is always a gamble. I'm halfway across the lane when I hear this nasally shriek from behind me, "You parked in my spot!" I glance over my shoulder, and there she is, Karen, in her full 6 a.m. glory. Blonde bob fried by too much bleach, full face makeup like she's headed to a runway show, and the energy of a chihuahua on Red Bull. She looked like someone stuffed a gym bag full of rage and sent it out to run errands. "You're not disabled, you're just fat. Move your car or I'm calling the police." Now listen, I hadn't had caffeine yet. I wasn't about to unpack my medical history for someone wearing $300 sneakers and no empathy. I turned around and snapped loud enough for aisle 3 to hear, "Go ahead and call, sweetheart. Tags are legal, placards registered, and in the spirit of the holiday season, you are cordially invited to kiss my chunky, disabled butt." She froze for half a second. And then she charged. Yep, this woman rushed at me like a linebacker in a suburban wine mom jersey. She grabbed my arm, shoved my shoulder, and started screaming, "I'm sick of you people abusing the system." Except now I had witnesses. 2 employees and a couple early morning shoppers saw the whole thing. And Karen, she didn't notice the store greeter already calling security. I stumbled a bit from the shove, caught myself on the cart corral, and just stood there stunned for a second. Karen was still yelling when a manager and a security guard came rushing out. I pointed and said, "She just assaulted me." And here's the kicker. A police officer just so happened to be in the parking lot responding to another call. He was inside within seconds. They took our statements, employees backed me up, security had the whole thing on camera. When they told Karen she was being placed under arrest for assaulting a disabled person, her jaw hit the floor. She tried to pull the "but she doesn't look disabled" card one more time. The cop looked her dead in the eye and said, "And you don't look like someone with impulse control, but here we are." They cuffed her right there in the middle of the entrance. Merry frickin' Christmas. I got my cart, grabbed my groceries, and even snagged an extra candy bar at checkout because I figured I earned it. As I passed the officer on my way out, I just said, "Thanks for the early present." So yeah, if anyone still has the Grinch's number, tell him his sister's in holding and she'll probably be out in time to ruin New Year's too. What always bothers me about people with her mentality is, does it never occur to them that maybe someone is fat because of their mobility disability and not the other way around? And our last story. Karen wants my brand new car. About a year ago, I finally retired my old warhorse of a car, a 1999 Saturn manual sedan that looked like it had seen a few apocalypses but never flinched. No AC, no frills, but it ran. Great tires, no leaks, no weird noises. It was a point A to point C kind of machine, reliable, sturdy, and, well, ugly. Like an overworked mule that wouldn't die. I was planning to donate it to charity, let it serve one last noble purpose. But then I had a thought. Maybe someone at work could use it. I've worked at a call center for 16 years, mostly remote now. It's a decent gig, but let's be real. It's a revolving door for teens, side hustlers, and chronically unavailable part-timers. Car trouble's a constant excuse for no-shows, so I checked in with my boss. Me. "Hey, I've got a working car I'm looking to give away. Not pretty, but solid. Anyone here need wheels?" He immediately listed off 3 people. One of them was working that day. Let's call her Karen, or better yet, EB entitled B for reasons that will soon become obvious. She'd literally shown up late that day because her ride fell through. Perfect candidate, right? My boss called her into the office. She came in like she owned the place, even though she couldn't own a functioning alarm clock. I showed her photos on my phone. Me, here's the car, took these yesterday. Swipe. Me, clean interior. Swipe. Me, new tires. Swipe. Me. It runs great, super reliable. Then I accidentally swiped one too far. Up popped a photo of my new car. Sleek, electric, beautiful. EB, wait, go back. Me, oh, that's my new one. Pretty, right? Just picked her up. She's fully electric. EB, you just plug it into the wall? Me, yeah, you can. There's a charger at home, but EB, that's fine. I'll take that one. Me, the new one? No, I'm offering you the Saturn. EB, but you said the old one still works. Me, yes, and I'm giving it away for free. EB, then you can keep the old one. Give me the good car. It's only fair. At this point, I wasn't sure if she was joking or if I just entered an alternate reality where generosity meant surrendering your personal property. Me, I'm sorry, what? I literally just bought that car. EB, and I don't have a car. You have two. One's new. I should get that one. Me, that's not how charity works. She crossed her arms like she was waiting for me to hand her the keys. EB, why don't you want the old one then? What's wrong with it? Me, because I bought a new car, that's all. She rolled her eyes like I was the one being unreasonable. EB, then I'm not taking that old piece of crap. Boss, finally stepping in. All right, thanks for your time. EB, you can go back to the floor. Before I could say anything else, my boss thanked me and escorted me out with a thanks, appreciate the thought, and a shake of his head that said, what the hell just happened? 3 days later, EB, no call, no shows. Automatic termination. When HR finally gets in touch, she says she can't possibly keep working there anymore because she still doesn't have a car. The irony? That old Saturn went to a guy in maintenance. He drove it to work the next day, big smile on his face, said it drove like a dream. Called it his new old lady. Meanwhile, EB's probably still out there waiting for someone to hand her a Tesla because the junk car isn't good enough. God bless entitlement. I did wonder if it was because she wasn't wanting the upkeep for a car and couldn't afford gas. But I think if she was worried about upkeep, she wouldn't have asked for the new car. Not that an EV has as much upkeep as a gas car, but I don't think she knew that. Hey guys, thank you all for watching the video. I'll see you in the next one.